you have to become somewhat psycho about your business, about what you want out of, your company. And sometimes when I just asked you, did you share your vision with other people so they can smash it, or did you keep it to yourself and
Oh,
later let them know this is what I did to get where I'm at, period? Show them the
yeah.
result, not what you were going to do.
All righty, folks, we are going to break down Wealthcon. Yes, folks, Wealthcon just happened over the weekend. We are so lucky to have two of our weekly guests were featured at this Wealthcon. First up, Omar Alfaro, and let's also give a shout out to Adrian Hernandez. But yeah, we got to talk about Wealthcon. I think the featured speaker this time was Andy Elliott. Would love to hear more about his story. But yeah, Omar, how was Wealthcon? A couple of day event in Vegas. What say you?
Yeah, that's I'll tell you this, guys. You know, we're in the business for a while, right? 20 some years in this business. We seem to know what we got going on, and we seem to know, the information that we need to move our business forward. But when you get around people that are in these events, like when you start networking and communicating and talking and figuring out like what people actually do, like there is so much information that all of us don't know. Okay, there's so much. We say that we're a student of the game, and we say that we want to put ourselves in environments that will inspire us, change us, challenge us, and live in that uncomfortable area. Well, to me, WealthCon was just that. Like, there's a lot of things that happen at WealthCon from the people, the information that you're receiving, plus the service in the morning on a Sunday, which was like the key for me. That's the biggest takeaway I've had. And just being able to grow in an environment where you might make $1 million a year, but the person next to you is making $1 million a month,
Hmm.
and the person next to him is making $1 million a week. Like there's so much scale there from
Yeah.
the first guy starting out to us, Michael, 20 years in the business, and sometimes the guy that's 5 years or 10 years in the business has surpassed us. It's like because
Yeah.
they put themselves in other rooms. And I'll tell you, like every single time I get to share the stage with these, and I did on Saturday and Sunday, which was phenomenal. And I mentioned that to everyone that every single time you go to an event, you get something out of it, providing you come home and you execute on what you've
Yeah.
learned. And it was just great. I can go on and on about specifics and about the people and about what we've
Yeah.
learned, but I'll let you say a couple things too, and then I have a couple things I want to add
Yeah.
about some of the speakers.
Yeah. So when I think about WealthCon, and again, I went to my first one last time I was asked to speak, and when I go speak, I go to the entire event. Right. I don't just
Mm-hmm.
fly in, fly out. So going to WealthCon last time was really eye opening for me because when I think of Ryan Pineda, I think of Ryan Pineda, the real estate investor. I think of Ryan Pineda, the social media, I don't know, star. And
Mm-hmm.
then I think Ryan Pineda, entrepreneur, right? He starts businesses all the time. And then this was a big one for me, Ryan Pineda, the husband and father,
Mm-hmm.
right? That was a big takeaway for me. And then obviously, to your point, the Sunday service. I actually was asked to speak after the Sunday service last time, which was really quite an honor to take that and really weave it into the story. So that was so much fun last time. Uh, but Ryan Pineda, the father, the husband, when you're backstage, I got to really interact with his wife. I actually interviewed his wife. She let me interview her like a day or so after the event, which was such an honor. Um, it's it's really weird. Sometimes you see these guys online and they're different when the
Mm-hmm.
camera's not on. And at least with Ryan, my experience is he's the same guy. He's out there to be a killer. He's out there to make a business. He's out there to provide. He's out there to help. He's serious about, his family life. He's serious about, worship, his kids. And I was just blown away. Um, I was just blown away at last WealthCon.
It has an impact on you, Michael.
Yeah. And then the last thing I'll say is that was kind of me looking at right Ryan and his businesses. But then, I was in the audience. Now again, I'm a back of the room guy. I sat on the last table, close to the exits.
Mhm.
It's just what I do. But watching the audience interact, having conversations with a few people that recognize me, he really does a good job of pulling people from just starting to, like you say, doing $1 million a month. I talk to some of those people. And he also does a good job of really bringing in entrepreneurs, right? Not everybody there was real estate, right? Some of them were small business owners. And it really
Well, yeah.
wasn't a collective group. So I don't know. Job well done. I was pretty impressed. And then he always has a featured speaker. Who was the featured speaker for you?
The keynote was Andy Elliott. It was
Ours was Tim
Jacqueline
Grover.
Elliott.
Ours was Tim
Yeah,
Grover.
Tim Grover's phenomenal. Like, just is badass. And I didn't go to that one, but that's like one of the first ones I've missed in quite some time. But yeah, Andy Elliott, his wife Jacqueline, were the keynote. They're the last two speakers, and just set it off for like the ending of Wealthcon. But before we talk about my takeaways, with that, or with the last speaker with the keynote, something I got from everyone that spoke, that including Adrian Hernandez, was what he spoke on stage, did a phenomenal job. Shout out to Adrian for sure, because you interview us, so it's cool. There was a lot of pain, a lot of challenges that all of these people faced, but they stayed true with their focus. They stayed true with whatever it is they were going to do. There was a solar guy who sold their business. He has a jet, he has a nice house, all the stuff, and he's still in sales, right? He has coaching and everything else. And they all started, right? They started in a garage to do solar sales 6 years. Like, it's not even that long ago, 6 fucking years ago.
Yeah.
And A1 door guy, which everybody knows about A1 garage doors. Well, he started it, and he had thousands of people in his organization, and then he broke it down. Everybody reverse engineered what they wanted. They wanted a $100 million company. They wanted a $50 million company. They wanted a $200 million company. And then they reverse engineered it on exactly how much money each individual will have to make in order to hit those numbers. And then behind it, how much inventory he needs to create for the individual salespeople. And it was phenomenal. That guy, Tommy, sold half of his business for $600 million. Half. And he's just a normal dude. He came out with a Travis Matthews freaking polo shirt, shorts, and some tennies, and just explaining what he did, and maniacal focus he was on the back end, meaning the reverse engineering. And everybody had something that, because it's a system, it's a process, it's putting in the work. In addition to, everybody has their own, everybody has a job that they have to do within the organization, and the focus was to build the people that will build the company.
Yeah.
And it was phenomenal.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, I talked about Warren Buffett this morning in a live stream. It's like getting wealthy or becoming a legend. It's all about doing the work. There are no easy buttons. Everybody has struggles. Starting in a garage, it's focus and daily discipline, folks. These people that are getting wealthy they're just maniacally focused, and they don't take excuses. They don't blame others. They just get up and do the work. And you know what? Tomorrow they get up and do the work. You know what? The day after they get up and do the work. It is that simple. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes work, it takes losses, it takes getting up, get knocked down, get up. Everybody struggles. Everybody has bad days, but it's worth it.
It really is. It's worth it to, it's worth it if you want it. It's worth it if you truly have purpose for it. Because that's another thing. It's like, you could do something that you're not passionate about, but it's a vehicle to get you to somewhere else that you might be passionate about. So you might have to go through that door. You might have to put the work in a little extra. You might have to not buy not buy the rental door and flip a couple properties or wholesale a couple properties, increase your earned income, and then make that change. So there's a lot of things that I've been seeing, and you got to become, no bullshit, you have to become somewhat psycho about what you want.
Yeah. Well,
And this is
talking
the other
about
thing I'll share
psycho
with you.
focus. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Omar, it looks like we lost your sound, buddy. Nope. Your earphones battery may have died. It's okay. It's all right, folks. We do these live, so we're gonna figure it out.
There it is.
There
Done.
it is.
Okay.
Done.
You get off. All right.
So maniacal focus. Go.
Yes. Did you hear me what I said?
No, I didn't. You wouldn't. I talked about psycho, and then you went off, and we did not hear you, unfortunately.
Oh
so
my
tell us
God.
again.
Okay. No, and I said that you have to become somewhat psycho about your business, about what you want out of, your company. And sometimes when I just asked you, did you share your vision with other people so they can smash it, or did you keep it to yourself and later let them know this is what I did to get where I'm at, period. Show them the result, not what you were going to do.
Yeah, I was maniacally focused. I didn't ask anybody's opinion other than Olivia. I didn't share the work. I didn't share my cheat sheets. I showed up every day. I didn't give a rat's ass what other people thought. I was trying to change my family's future. And I saw no value in telling other people what I'm doing. Nobody I worked with had what I wanted. They didn't have what I wanted. I didn't want to work for 50 years. I didn't want this. I didn't want that. So no, why would I tell somebody who has nothing I want what I'm doing? Now, let's flip the script. Why Wealthcon? Why school? I am providing a platform. Ryan provides a platform to get like-minded individuals who are maniacally focused on changing their family's future together. That's why I'm creating school. I tried to do it on Facebook with a private group. Facebook changed all the freaking rules and makes it impossible now. So school is launched. I got over 200 members already. We are changing lives inside school. Join, $20 a month. Introduce yourself, ask questions. If you don't like it, quit. It's fine. It's $20. Who cares? It's not a year-long commitment. But yeah, dude, you freaking kidding me? I had no interest and that's family. I didn't tell my mom. I didn't tell my dad. I didn't tell my sister. Why would I tell them? They didn't have anything I wanted. You kidding me?
See, that right there was something that was a huge takeaway, is that if you have something that you're doing, like, why tell people like, hey, I gotta go do this, this, and this in order for me to go do that? I gotta step back. I gotta sell this, sell that asset, sell this rental because I have some other vision. They're not on the same page.
No.
Not at all. When my dad would ask me, God rest his soul, I would not tell him everything I'm doing because there was something about my dad that was a little more old school. And I know that I didn't want to make an argument, and I didn't want him to say, hey, listen, Miko, do it this way because this is how I did it. Yes, Dad, you did it that way, but I'm doing it this way. And how can we do this all without leveraging? The whole mindset was changed or different. I don't share half the shit that to my family because I don't want to sound. This is the thing. You're not going to share your vision with someone who doesn't have what you truly want. $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a month. I mean, in residual income. But the crazy thing is, I can share it with you, Michael, because you've already been there and done that, and you'd be like, okay, this is what my suggestion, because I don't want to see you hit a wall. So do this.
Yeah. Avoid this. You're going a little bit too fast around this hairpin turn. You might want to slow down, or time to lean in. Go. Yeah. Absolutely.
Exactly. So that's something that I did take away from a lot of the speakers. That and the your scale of when you first start the business, then you start making some accolades, then you start making some money, but then you also want to show off, and you want to go do the things, buy the things that other people want you to buy, right? The Lambo, the watches, this, that, and the other. And then at the peak of it, you have your legacy, right? Your legacy, you have rentals, you have properties, you have a portfolio, you have stuff that you're going to leave to your family and your assets. But in that order, it's like, well, you don't need to do the middle part. I mean, you want to show off, sure, go for it, but it makes you feel good. But at the end of the day, everybody who's bought Rolls Royces, Ferraris, to an extent, right? They get over it and they're like, it's just another car.
Yeah.
And then they figure out like, hey, let's just focus on getting more doors, getting more properties, leaving the legacy versus the depreciated asset or depreciated liability.
Well, I want to talk about Andy Elliott. It's funny. I actually, if you watch my Buying Vegas series, episode 1, the first minute's kind of a highlight reel. And actually, Andy Elliott's in it. He says, I'm a psycho competitor. That was kind of the clip my team put together. So, I don't know much about him other than what I see online. He is hyper-focused, sales-oriented. What's the deal? What's his story? How did he inspire you and the group?
I think with him, he's very raw and he tells you to the point of like, okay, you're happy? Great. Look at yourself in the mirror. Awesome. Take your shirt off. How happy are you?
Yeah.
Are you truly the best version of yourself if you're looking at yourself in the mirror every day? Are you truly the person that you're meant to become? Yeah. So he does inspire vision for people, but what he does is he like tries to rip you because that's the only way you're going to be able to grow. And honestly, like I look at it as, what am I doing in my current business that I can get better at? Like, am I really being that maniacally focused with my health? Am I truly only eating specific things because I want to get in the best shape of my life? And then if I'm in the best shape of my life, it will create another avenue for me in business because I'm going to be able to be that much more energized, that much more enthusiastic, that much more passionate, that much more having a purpose to move forward, right? So he instilled that, I'm not going to say instilled, he let us know what he has done.
Nice.
And it's up to us to decide if now we're going to copy him or model him as that term goes, but it allows you to say, hey, what can I do to change my life?
Yeah.
Obviously, you wear that hat every day. You're doing the work.
Trying.
Daily discipline every single day will end up getting you that result later. But you stop that daily discipline. Well, you discipline for one day out of the month. Don't expect the results to change.
Yeah. I think that question about taking your shirt off, are you happy what you're looking at? It's a very powerful question. And again, you could do it both figuratively and specifically, right? You could do that with your finances. You could do that with your relationship. You can do that obviously with your health. I think it's very poignant. I think a lot of us, myself included, say we're happy.
Right.
On total, right? But
correct.
If you kind of go, hey, what about this? What about this? What about this? Maybe you're not as happy as you think you are. And maybe you don't have the results that you think you want. So I think it's a very powerful question.
It really is. And to wrap this all up, Michael, he let us know, and I didn't know this, and maybe you have known this, or maybe you don't, but everybody gets rebirthed, okay? And I correlated this with what he was saying. Did you want to soar with eagles, right? Everybody wants to soar with eagles and not fly with the pigeons, correct? Because this is, it attracts us. It's a different type of soaring, I could say. So an eagle, after 40 years, has a choice it makes, and the choice is it's either gonna die or go get rebirthed. And I never knew this. So when he explained it to me, or explained it to all of us, I'm like, holy shit, this is straight up the best thing I've heard. The eagle must go to the very top of the mountain and start smashing his beak against rocks, and it's bloody and it's gross, and he removes it, like he literally removes it off of rocks. Okay, then it grows back. Then what he does, he plucks every single feather from him, completely. So he's raw and naked and complete, right? The feathers start growing back. Then he rips out his talons.
Mm.
At 40 years old, okay, rips out his
Damn.
talons. And then he comes back stronger and he lives another 40 years. But he
Crazy.
makes a choice to either die after the first 40 or to go get rebirthed. And that process is excruciating. 6 months, a year for everything to grow back. And then he hits it hard and he's ready for the next 40 years. Fucking powerful when he told me this, or when he told all of us this.
There's a story, folks. Again, it's not pretty. It can be ugly. It can be hard. But
Yes.
we have some choices. Omar, this has been a great summary. I appreciate you. Shout out Ryan Pineda for Wealthcon. Good news on Wealthcon, I think, is he's doing it every 6 months now, as opposed to every 90 days. So expect more fire, more guests. I think it's the right thing for Wealthcon in the community. Omar, where can people find you?
Guys, follow me on IG at Invest with Omar, and we're dropping a lot of cool stuff.
There you go, buddy. Take care.